Our second review is place value to the thousandths. So place value represents the value of a digit based on its location in a number. We're going to explore place value through the thousandths place. Remember, as you move right across the table, each place decreases or gets smaller by multiples of 10. And as you move left, it gets bigger or increases by multiples of 10. Okay, so this is our place value for our decimals. That's what we're talking about here. So our ones, tens, hundreds place, that's our whole numbers. But when we have a decimal, as we move to the right, we get smaller. So it goes tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And remember, as we move right, even though those numbers, the words say, make you think that it's bigger, it's actually smaller because it's more pieces. It's like taking a candy bar and splitting it into 10 pieces versus splitting it into 1,000 pieces. You get more pieces, but they're a lot smaller parts. So we're going to write the number in the place value chart above in standard form. Remember, standard form just means numbers. So the number up here is 142. And remember, when we say a decimal, it means and. 235, and then thousandths. Whatever the last place in our decimal is, that's the number, that's the word that we label it with, the place. Now we're going to write the place value of the underlined digit and then write the value of the digit. So remember, place means where, and value means how much. So how much it's worth in that place. So the underlined digit is the second to the right of the decimal, which means it skips over the tenths place and goes to the hundredths. The value of it is decimal 0.5, because that's 5/100ths, sorry. So basically all we did was anything between the decimal and that number, we changed to a 0, because we just want to know what that underlined place is worth. So now we're going to do the same thing with these two. We have a 6, and it's in the tenths place. So that means that the value of it is 6/10. If you wanted to write it out in words, it's 6/10. And on this one we have a 1, and it's in the third place from the decimal, so tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So our value is 1,000. Remember, when we're using decimals, all of our labels for our places have THS on the end. So tenths, hundredths, thousandths. That lets you know that it's in a decimal place. Now we're going to write these numbers in standard form. So this is in word form, written down in words just like we say it, and then we're going to change it to where it's in numbers. So remember to read it all the way through first so you can look for gaps. This says 802 and 4,000ths. So 802, write it just like you read it. Our and means a decimal. And then 4,000ths means that the 4 is in this place right here. So we have 1, 2 zeros that we need to fill in before we can get to 4,000ths. This one says 11 and 2/10. So our tenths is right beside the decimal. So our 2 needs to go right beside the decimal.
Teachers, code yellow, fire drill. Code yellow, fire drill.